and welcome to the 77th edition of the Marex Maritime News. These are the headlines on Monday, 2nd August 2021. SWR emphasizes on the need to recruit and retain seafarers. Protect Indian shipping industry from high taxes and discriminatory norms. Shipping Ministry plans to start KARAIKAL-KANKESANTHURAI ferry service. New trafficking guidelines aim to assist industry to spot wildlife crimes. Experts report on dry markets. In 2015, Seafarers Workforce Report (SWR) predicted that an additional 89,510 officers would be needed by 2026, based on the projections for growth in shipping trade. It also said that there was a current shortfall of some 26,240 certified officers, indicating that the demand for seafarers had outpaced the supply in 2021. It also emphasized on the need to recruit and retain seafarers.
Hope and pray that all are healthy and safe, as we know that coronavirus is still playing havoc and is a very big threat. All nations have suffered big time and trying to cope up. Shipping is no different, but for our brave seafarers, supply chain of goods would have ceased and would have affected the world. There are around 74,000 vessels having around 1.9 million seafarers. Many of them on board have completed their tenure and still continuing. With restrictions from many countries, it is becoming difficult to relieve seafarers on board, in spite of shipping companies trying to find ways. With numbers of vessels increasing, we require many more seafarers to man these. Countries like ours have a very big opportunity to increase training and have them ready for employment. We cannot miss this opportunity. We also have to ensure and keep pressure on vaccinating our seafarers, as most of the countries are allowing seafarers who have been fully vaccinated. Our government has helped in this, but still there is more what can be done in way of seafarers getting vaccinated on priority basis. Surely we can do this and turn pandemic to our advantage by having seafarers ready to join. We also have to find ways to keep seafarers continue in their profession. Pressure from families and having more avenues, seafaring is not what it used to be. We have to use our energy and initiative to keep informing the younger generation about good life a seafarer has and how he can help his family in having a comfortable life. Wishing all seafarers and their family a very safe life ahead.
There's not much one can advise successful ship owners and manning agencies around the world. However, since the warning bells are ringing closer to the ear, it would be good to refresh attention to some of these points. Impending shortage of well-trained officers and seafarers to work on board our ships makes it critical that ship owners and manning agencies more than double their intake of cadets and trainee seamen. Technology has improved drastically, especially in the fields of communication. Today's seafarer has real-time information from back home. The pandemic has not made life any easier. The manning process itself and training and certification has new challenges, new hurdles. Governments around the world have imposed severe restrictions on crew changes, on travel. This is increasing the contract period of the seafarers on board. It is for these above two reasons that ship owners and manning agencies should consider easy access to trained counselors who will teach our seafarers to handle changing circumstances and to handle the information from back home, especially adverse information. Shipping companies, manning agencies, and seafarers should put pressure on their respective governments to engage with governments of countries who have severe restrictions on travel and crew changes around the world. Finally, I can sum it all up in just 3 words: recruit, train, and retain.
The shortage predicted in this report is based on the factors that how many ships will be trading in year 2026. As of now, the shortage has been predicted something around 26,000, and in 2026 the prediction is there is a shortage could be around 89,000. These are based on many factors. Now, these shortage are predominantly in top 4 levels and also mostly on tanker side. In top 4 also, this is more on a technical side. The engineers are more on shortage than the deck officers. We can see this in last 1.5 year because of COVID restrictions. Crew have not been able to sign off in time. The officers have not been able to sign off in time. There could be many reasons, but one reason is definitely the shortage of supplies. Now, there is another problem which is coming up, especially on the main power supplies, countries like India, Indonesia, Philippines, prioritizing the vaccination for the seafarers, which has been delayed. And that could also lead to a shortage of seafarers supply into the long run. What is important here is, according to me, is that this is a good opportunity for India to introduce young generation and attract those talents and bring those young generation into the shipping industry. Now, we already see now there are many young generations, there are many young seafarers who have done the training, but there is hardly any jobs for them. So there is a need for doing a lot of marketing for Indian seafarers. Once these trained seafarers, the young generations who have done TME's course or BS Nautical Science or BTech Marine Engineering, if they start getting jobs, definitely we can increase our presence into the international market as well. I also see this as a good opportunity for women seafarers from India to increase their presence in world merchant ships. As of now, there are only 1.45% of seafarers are women in entire world. Out of that, mostly on the passenger ferry sides, especially the ratings women seafarers. This is good opportunity for them also to come forward and participate and take part of this industry and become a major player in this fraternity. So overall, this is a good sign for India, I would say, provided we take the opportunity and use it for our benefit.
Nearly 40% of India's GDP comes from its export-import trade, which primarily takes place over the sea. As much as 83% of India's crude oil and 45% of its natural gas requirements are imported. India is a major exporter of petroleum products as well as commodities and finished goods, which are carried in and out of our ports annually by hundreds of container ships, oil tankers, chemical tankers, and natural gas and ore carriers. However, barely 7% of the billions of dollars worth of freight are taken by Indian ships. Any interruption in this shipping traffic would have a negative impact, not only on the country's energy and power sectors, but also on the industry and the consumer supply chains, and eventually on our economy. Yet, the government appears not to be seized fully of the importance of shipping and the need for it to develop and grow under the Indian flag.
For several years, the Indian shipping industry has been attempting to draw the attention of the government to the fact that import of shipping services into India is cheaper than locally providing shipping services to an Indian company. This happens not due to operational deficiencies, but solely on account of duties and taxes which are imposed on the business of providing transportation by sea by an Indian company. Thanks to these duties and taxes, the cost of operation of an Indian ship when compared with that of a foreign ship is a whopping 20%. Indian companies are therefore unable to make use of the right of first refusal when confronted with the dumping prices offered by foreign shipping companies. This had also led to lack of fresh investment in the Indian flag. The newly declared subsidy scheme of the Government of India to support Indian ships in the carriage of Indian cargo belonging to the government departments and the CPSEs is therefore an extremely welcome move. The attempt of this scheme is to try and offset some of the competitive disadvantages under the Indian flag. We must importantly add here that the scheme is not the panacea for the problems faced by the Indian shipping industry and will need to be accompanied by other reform. We understand that the Ministry of Shipping is working on structural reforms which would ensure that Indian shipping companies are able to be competitive without the need of any subsidy or support from the Government of India. In the meanwhile, it is anticipated that the scheme, which is now effective, will lead to a greater interest and investment in the Indian flag shipping industry.
The Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways has set up a committee to firm up a comprehensive plan to start ferry service between Karaikal Port, India and Kankesanthurai Port, Sri Lanka. The Parliament was informed on Thursday. Replying to a question in Lok Sabha, the Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Sarbananda Sonowal, said the Puducherry government has informed that King Lear Limited has submitted a proposal regarding starting ferry service between Karaikal Port and KKS Port.
Needs of shipping are vast. Needs for supplies and services are not always predictable, but certainty is critical. So certainty is a must on deliverables, besides time and location. Welcome to InShip. It's operated by mariners and operated for mariners. InShip is a digital platform for mariners, suppliers, service providers, and consultants. We facilitate marketplaces across oceans to ensure ease of trade for making ship supplies and services happen. We at InShip embrace digital transformation to bring in certainty. InShip is a platform with port-specific suppliers and service providers. This marketplace is accessed by shipping companies and mariners to place order for deliveries at their port of call. If you are a mariner, then InShip is your go-to contact for your supplies and services needs. Our goal is making your trade happening promptly, anywhere. For suppliers, we create sea of opportunities. We help suppliers improve sales with global visibility and access buyers with swift response to RFPs and online procurement. We promote mariners, the next-gen transformation, and accelerate the delivery process. We provide digital platform, a marketplace of all shipping needs, streamline suppliers, enhance access to service providers and bring in ease of trade. InShip vision is to drive invention, to enhance seamless procurement with high-tech platform, and enable smart trade, while creating a trustable marketplace. InShip gives access to vendors and service providers, a platform to onboard a broad range of shipping needs. Mariners can come with confidence to access the listed offerings. With more and more vendors getting listed, and more mariners actively making procurements, InShip as a marketplace unleashes endless possibilities of digitalizing the shipping needs. With future needs of shipping industry as our focus, InShip is building artificial intelligence-driven platform to proactively predict the shipping needs. InShip keeps actively onboarding more vendors across ports, deploy AI and ML solutions to advise on spend patterns, and creating thought leadership to enable sea trade with intelligence. We bridge the needs of mariners with qualified vendors and consultants in making our vision a reality, in being a smarter procurement enabler. With InShip, we look forward to work together in creating digital platform and partner in mutual growth with next-gen intelligence. Please get in touch with us. A sea of opportunity awaits mutually. Log on now to inship.com.
with an estimated 72% to 90% of the wildlife products trafficked by sea. The Red Flag Compendium for Wildlife and Timber Trafficking in Containerized Cargo aims to alert the shipping companies to the loopholes within the system which can allow for trafficking to take place. On 21 July, WWF and Traffic, a non-government organization which works globally on trade in animals and plants to address biodiversity conservation and sustainable development concerns, released a guidance document drawing the attention to the red flags which indicate illegal wildlife trade within the containerized shipping industry. This information will allow the shipping industry to implement greater safeguarding measures to protect their business, employees, and security measures against these trafficking risks. Now, our dry market report, direct from the expert.
Let me talk about the astronomical freight rates that are being seen on the markets. The container sector continues to grab the headlines. On Wednesday last week, the box index covering freight rates on 12 main routes surged 48% overnight and going from 6858 to 10,174 points. This index is up 7.1 times in 19 months and 2.7 times in the last 7 months. According to some sources, in the pre-pandemic times of 2 years ago, a basic pair of Nike trainers would typically retail in the US for $70 a pair and the cost of $15 to make in China. The shipping cost from China to California was 50 cents a pair back then, equating to 2,500 per FEU on the basis of 5,000 pairs per FEU. That is a total of $350,000 worth of shoes in a big box. On Wednesday, the box rate for China to US West Coast surged from 11,699 to 18,346 per FEU, implying that the shipping component has gone up from 50 cents a pair to $3.67 in just 2 years. Profit margins are being compressed along the supply chain. The ocean freight element still represents great value at only 5% of the retail price. It is nonetheless a shock to shippers to see freight costs rise over 7 times in 2 years. It is reported that a Chinese freight forwarder has chartered in the Orca 1 5078 TEU built 2006 for 60 to 90 days Pacific trading at $300,000 per day. Yes, $300,000 per day. The ship is owned by Poseidon Containers, and according to the company website, this has just started a 3+1 year time charter to Maersk Line at $21,000 per day. Maersk stands to make a profit of $25 million if the relet charter goes the full 90 days. These numbers are unprecedented. We are not aware of any container ship, bulk carrier or tanker ever earning as much as $300,000 per day before, even during the dizzy days of 2005 and 2008. Now it is time of the handy-sized bulk carriers that can go anywhere, anytime, any place. This ability to bypass port congestion has played in their favor in a segment that faces minimal near-term supply growth. As of Friday, the Baltic indices show all 4 bulk carrier segments doing well. The Capesize at 35,713 daily, the Supramax at 32,395 per day, the Handysize at 31,676 daily, and the Panamax index slipping below the 30,000 to 29,734 per day. Handy-sized bulk carriers seem to be trading above their station, but they are in no hurry to get back in their box. The Baltic Sail Index for a 5-year-old 37,000 deadweight bulk carrier hit a 2-year low point of 14.4 million on 27th of November last year, and a multi-year peak of 21.4 million on Friday last. Period time charter rates. Warrior 2012 build 56,700, delivery Mauritania 9th August for about 4 to 6 months. Redelivery Atlantic at 33,500, account opened off. Danai 2019 build 37,900, deadweight. Delivery China for 12 months, redelivery worldwide at 25,000, account Pan Ocean. Other things that have defied gravity of late have been iron ore, coal, and oil prices. A lack of investment over the past decade has seen demand outstrip supply, and higher prices are the consequence. 65% Fe CFR China iron ore is currently at just under $214 a ton, up 98% in the past year. While thermal coal prices are pushing above 150 a ton, up 184% in the past 12 months. Brent crude oil is currently trading above 76 a barrel, up 76% in a year. These are unloved commodities in a world that is being battered by storm, flood, fire, and drought. Japanese 28,000 remain in vogue, having been out of fashion for the past few years. The Amira Iham and Geki Star 28,400 built 2009 and 2008 in Japan received offers and we understand are sold for $11.5 and $10.5 million respectively. One of the greatest disruptions we experienced in the ship repair sector lately was the regulations adapted by the shipyards in Zhoushan area in China. A sudden decision caused mainly due to the outbreak of the Delta variant of COVID. From end May till beginning July, all the yards located in Zhoushan area adopted strict regulations which practically have rejected, without prior notice, most of the vessels already fixed to enter the yards for scheduled repairs. This reaction, apart from great inconvenience and losses caused to the owners, resulted in vessels staying idle for a couple of days waiting for decisions, vessels deviating in order to reschedule their repairs, and ultimately created a very high demand, and consequently overbooking on the rest of the shipyards in China with more relaxed measures. Taking into consideration also the elevated dry bulk freight market, the pressure of the shipping companies to perform is tremendous. Therefore, they are trying to control the ship repairs to the maximum extent possible. This is only a fraction of the last-minute regulations we encountered this year, but is a very good example to evaluate the consequences they have in the ship repair market. On the other hand, we have a severe waste of vessels' operational time for owner side and waste of resources and manpower for the yard side. This is a phenomenon we go through very often during the COVID era and has indisputably damaged a lot of entities being on the wrong side.
Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for watching. See you all next Monday.